When my name was first said on television, my mother called me and said only one thing. "Grace, turn off the screen." But it was already too late. By then, everyone had seen me. My name was Grace Miller. I was 37, and that morning I was still the kind of woman people invited to charity dinners, asked to speak at community meetings, and called an example for young girls. By evening, I had become the Grace people whispered about while standing in line for coffee. It all started with a video. A short clip, filmed by someone in a parking lot after a private event. In it, I was standing next to a man who was not my husband. He had simply helped me carry boxes to my car, but the camera caught only 1 second, his hand on my back, my tired laugh, the space between us looking too small. That was enough. The next day, my husband, Mark, left, placing his keys on the kitchen table. He didn't even ask what had happened. It was easier for him to believe strangers in the comments than the woman he had lived with for 11 years. My job disappeared soon after. At the foundation where I had raised money for families going through difficult times, they told me it would be better to take a pause. The words sounded soft, but the door closed behind me loudly. For the first few weeks, I barely left the house. I read messages from strangers, deleted voicemails from former friends, and watched people I had helped for years suddenly act as if they had never known me. One evening, my neighbor Evelyn came over. She was 72 and never wasted words. She placed a paper bag of soup on my porch and said, "If they took your name from you, Grace, build something so powerful they'll have to say it again." That sentence stayed inside me. I started small. I opened my old laptop, pulled up my contact list, and created a small online group for women who had been publicly judged before anyone cared to hear their side. I didn't promise them miracles. I simply gave them a place where they could speak without fear. At first, there were 6 of us. Then 20. Then 300. 6 months later, a local journalist named Ethan Brooks wrote to me. He wanted an interview. I turned him down 3 times. On the 4th, I agreed, but only under one condition: he would not write about my fall. He would write about what people do after it. The article came out on a Sunday morning. The headline was simple: Grace Miller helps women find their voices again. That day, Mark called me. I looked at his name on the screen and didn't answer. It wasn't because I wanted to punish him. For the first time in a long time, I simply didn't need to explain myself. A year later, I opened my own center. There was no portrait of me at the entrance, no loud slogan, no pretty promise. Just a small sign that read, "Second Ground." On opening day, my mother came. She hugged me so tightly it felt like she had been holding her breath all that time. That evening, I received a letter with no signature. Inside was a printed copy of that same old parking lot frame. On the back, someone had written, "I'm sorry. We believed it too quickly." I stared at those words for a long time, then placed the letter in a drawer. My fall made me famous through someone else's version of the story. But getting back up was the first decision I made entirely on my own. And the strangest part was this: when I lost the reputation I had built for other people, I finally found the woman I could be proud of myself.